live stream, like when I got off near the Brooklyn Bridge in Court Street. There's a building in that area that I was supposed to film or not, but and I was actually like a bobo. I actually referenced that building in my video, and as soon as I did, like my phone started acting funky. But if you guys see my last live stream regarding this Hunter Biden thing, it could pop up at the end. I don't know. Like maybe you'll see like how the camera started behaving funny. But that's the headquarters of a really important agency. I mean everybody knows it's down there, but I don't know. Once I said what it was about to say, what that building was, and I pointed my phone in that direction, like the camera stopped working, and you can see in the end of my video where I'm saying, is anybody still here? Whatever. But that was creepy. Again, I'm back in my hometown, Brooklyn, New York. This is actually not Sunset Park, Brooklyn. This is Park Slope. More of a yuppie area, but still my home nevertheless. And I wanted to talk about the Hunter Biden thing again. Also, during the span of that video, I saw my views go up and down. So I mean, YouTube definitely playing games like always. YouTube doesn't like that so-called minorities like myself have anything positive to say about the new wave of conservatism that is taking over America and the world throughout. But here we are. Again, I always tell people, if you can help me fight through the algorithm, do it. I actually came into Brooklyn to buy a article of clothing. Yeah, I got it. But I actually came into Brooklyn to buy an article of clothing, and my man Michael Johnson about to talk about I already copped it, and I'm on my way back to the lab. I'm about to turn on the wrong block. This is a area I'm really familiar with too, here in Sunset Park. I mean in Park Slope. Even though I'm not from Park Slope, I used to chill right here on 17th Street between 4th and 5th, which is one block over. Oh no, 4th and 3rd. Shout out to White Joey, to fucking Mosso. I forgot the two brothers' names. Oh, and there's a little piece by one of graffiti legends, Roach RGN. Yeah, Roach RGN. Miss 17 right there. Flash. These are all New York City bombers. I love this kind of graffiti, like the non-authorized. There goes is that your pops Michael Johnson boxing talking more? What, bro? I don't got no cash for you, mister. Nah, but anyhow, in terms of the Hunter Biden investigation, and sorry for cutting off my last video, but I think it was out of my hands. Well, there is no investigation. The investigation is a done deal. But what's also a done deal is the whole holier than thou tour that the media has done in name of Joe Biden and his family. You know, any criticism of Hunter Biden in the past was met with, oh, well, he's a drug addict, and you know, you gotta have sympathy. I mean, like, they're trying to make drug addict, in the case of Hunter Biden, a person who's 55 years old, a millionaire, you know, somebody who's not had to work for his millions because he's benefited off his family name. But there's no sympathy. There's people that really need sympathy, like that are drug addicts. And in fact, there's many on this avenue right here, because this is the methadone spot. Where is it? The methadone spot is right across this avenue on this corner. And your boy Five Player knew that there was a good customer base here, and when he needed to make a quick buck, this is where he would set up shop. You know, it's actually on the other corner. But you know, there's legit drug addicts that deserve your sympathy. Like, don't let the media fool you into thinking that Hunter Biden's this sympathetic figure, that he's been done wrong by like political injustice. If anybody's been targeted by political injustice, it's Donald Trump these last 4 years. It's super evident, not only by the powers that be and the law agencies that operate on a federal level here in the United States of America. There's the methadone clinic. But in addition to unfair treatment by the media, to leftists attempting to kill him more than once. Shit, I should not have said that word. But it's clearly evident, in spite of what the media is telling you, that Donald Trump is a figure that is routinely targeted by the media, the government agencies by way of fake investigations, and also by leftist lunatics that attempted to end his life more than once. And I say that too, like with full knowledge that, like, I know that Trump is gonna go on a comeback tour, and it's well deserved. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I want things to go back to normal. There's no go back to normal. The genie's out the bottle. The political discourse in this country is at a stage where, I mean, lines are being drawn, but the liberal left, I mean, operates as if they don't love this country. I mean, in fact, hate it. Not all of them, but the policymakers, the people that really pull the strings in the left, have turned the left into this mob that if you deviate from their lunatic ways of thinking, that constantly change. Their standards change all the time. Their standards of what a woman is, their standards of what's considered targeting by the FBI and what's not, what's considered unfair treatment by the media. You know, those things go out the window with the liberal left, and they want you to look the other way too. But if you don't join them in playing blind and join them in tearing shit down and being rabid about their emotions, then you too become an enemy of the liberal left. And it doesn't have to, it's not going to get to no violent shit, I think. But the liberal left, I'm hoping that the Trump administration, with good people like Kash Patel, like leading the FBI, go after all these members of the Biden family who benefited by way of the evidence that was found on the Hunter Biden laptop, which at this stage is Hunter Biden. I mean, which he's gonna get pardoned, but he should still be, if it's possible, they should still put him in to testify to Congress. Something he was supposed to do and didn't. He walked out of that congressional hearing that he was supposed to partake in. But they should, if it's possible, although he's been pardoned and although they may not be chasing a criminal conviction, I want to see how far the business of Hunter Biden and the Biden crime family went. Like, how much did they sell their influence? Like, again, a lot of that stuff is evidence on the Hunter Biden laptop. I'm pretty sure that if Hunter Biden, by way of that laptop, which, if you guys don't know, that laptop has a ton of smoking guns that would lead you to believe that Hunter Biden was selling access to the Biden family, namely selling access to his father, Joe Biden, who was a senator, then he became a vice president, and ultimately became the president. There goes one of the illest views of New York City, which is here in Brooklyn Heights, from the Brooklyn Promenade, which is right up above me. That's actually a platform above me, but one of the illest views of New York City, and Jersey's actually behind that, but fuck Jersey. But one of the illest views of New York City is right here. I love this view. I would drive into work from Brooklyn and drive past this, and you gotta feel away. You could feel down, you could feel great, and you as a New Yorker drive by this view. As a Sunset Park, Brooklyn New Yorker, which you gotta drive by this area to go into Manhattan. it'll light the fire in your ass. But people are driving like fucking shit today, bro. But and the kid that I just made a deal with too, the poor guy, actually got into a really bad car accident today himself. But having said that though, I don't want to go back to business as usual, because at this stage of the game, there's a lot of people that are comfortable with the powers that be imposing mandates. I'm not comfortable with that. I think it should be done away with forever. There's a lot of people that are comfortable with targeting politically. There's GNS or Genius, that little tag. But there's a lot of people that are comfortable with the fact that, and that's the building that I was recording to when my camera started messing up. Which, if you guys don't know, that's actually the headquarters for a important agency. But that's their New York headquarters, I guess. And I'm actually driving over the Brooklyn Bridge now, if you guys give a shit. But the Hunter Biden laptop, in addition to anything relating to Hunter Biden's business dealings in the past, should be investigated. And again, is the Biden crime family the biggest perpetrators of government malfeasance or benefiting off your name, as far as like squeezing other countries so that you could enrich yourself as a politician, like I know the Bidens have done? Like, no, it doesn't end with them. But I know a lot of people are involved in the same shit. I know a lot of people are involved in covering up that same shit. In fact, in Congress, Matt Gaetz introduced, when questioning agents of the FBI, asked them about the Hunter Biden laptop and whether they were aware as to where the Hunter Biden laptop was at that time when he had that congressional hearing with the FBI agents at Congress. They said that they didn't know where the laptop was, and that's acceptable, like, to the liberal left. Like, oh, well, these things happen. My favorite building in New York right here. Bang. But I always say that. But I just think that Joe Biden, Hunter Biden were some of the sloppiest participants in enriching themselves with by using the U.S. or their U.S. government positions as an apparatus to squeeze other countries. Look how beautiful this building is. I have a notion that this wasn't created the year they said it. I don't have a notion that all of these beautiful buildings and all this great detail was created before they said that these things were created. But and the fact that Joe Biden is such an old man, I'm hoping that the powers that be expect that it begins and ends with Joe Biden and no other investigations will take place. And I hope that Trump just flips the script and investigates everybody, Republicans, Democrats. Oh, going back to that hearing with Matt Gaetz, asked the FBI agents about the whereabouts of the Hunter Biden laptop. Matt Gaetz took it upon himself to introduce as evidence a hard drive containing all the components of that laptop. Are these motherfuckers filming a movie or some shit? It's New York shit, bro. Like, but Matt Gaetz introduced the hard drive containing all the elements of Hunter Biden's laptop and gave it to or introduced it as evidence in the Senate. So every one of these senators, a congressman, had the time to look at the evidence that was within that hard drive. And that's Republicans and Democrats. At this stage, they haven't. They haven't come out and said, listen, all this alarming shit I saw on that laptop, us as Republicans, we're not gonna stand for this. We're gonna put this out to the American public. Has that happened? No. Is that because that there's no evidence on the laptop? Absolutely not. That happens because the swamp is deep. The swamp is inundated with Republicans and Democrats. And there's only one person that's not of neither party. I mean, that's not part of the political system, and that's Donald Trump. The political system is allergic to that man. And we need somebody like that. And now that Donald Trump has all the players locked down, he knows who's who, he knows what's what. With these nominations, he's gonna see who's down for him at the Senate level, and they got to break up the Senate leadership for the Republicans with Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's a snake. Mitch McConnell is probably one of the dirtiest politicians of either party. But he got to go. There's a mystery building. Nobody knows what it's here for. It has no windows, and it's really big. But we need somebody like Trump that's really gonna shake things up. Like, I don't want to go back into business as usual. Like, the country's already cooked. Our GDP can't pay off our debts. So what's the point of anything anymore? Like, and the truth is free. So I need to know as much truth regarding all this bad shit that's happened, especially in the last 4 years. Like, did anybody get paid off to push the jab like so as much as they did? My sentiment has been that the 2020 election was not above board. Did people get paid off to make that go down? If it went down like I assume it did, yet to be seen. Nevertheless, Trump's made the claim that the 2020 election was stolen from him. So if he does anything besides investigate the 2020 election, investigate Fauci, the NIH, the jab pushers, if he does anything short of that, to me it's a letdown. And it shouldn't be no truth and reconciliation type shit, like where, oh well, we find out who these bad people are and like nothing comes of it. No, I really want justice, but more so I just don't want, I want these people to be cemented into Americans' minds, how duped we are. I mean, or how duped we were with all these things. How bad we need to break down a lot of these systems that are in place, especially when you talk about the mainstream media, which is a monopoly for all intents and purposes. You got like grimy people like Trey Gowdy that go from Congress to working in Fox News, and Trey Gowdy was a piece of shit, in spite of the fact that Trump endorsed him and wanted him for positions when he first ran. But now Trey Gowdy goes right from Fox, from Congress right into Fox, and he's a useful dog. I mean, like, all these media people are useful dogs. None of them tell the truth. They're all my enemies, and I have no room for any of them, and nobody else should too. I mean, like, I want to find out. I don't care if they're speaking my language. I don't care if they're saying we love Puerto Rican conservatives like you, Surf Out Player of Brooklyn. I don't care if they're saying, Surf Out Player of Brooklyn, you could benefit directly from silencing yourself regarding how you feel like with the powers that be. Listen, everybody is abjectly broke around me. At times, I feel like I'm abjectly broke. What's a few bucks gonna do? Like, fucking what? Like, I don't need any sort of appeasement. I rather my son not to live through a similar time like all Americans had to live through these last 4 years. Now, it may not mean much to all Americans, but when there came, like, for instance, vax hesitancy, the biggest communities that were against it were Black and Latin people in New York. It was forced in many job industries, and New York is hyper liberal. Like, they could give two shits like about Black or Latin people. once they get off the thinking liberal, like for it, like, and the mandates. If you were anti-mandate or anti-jab, that was considered pro-Trump at that time. Honestly, it's one of the things that really switched it up, like with my thinking as far as politically. I wasn't for either party for the most part. In fact, 10 years ago, I was hyper liberal. I've always been liberal. I've been involved in the club scene since I was a kid, pretty much. Going to the illest nightclubs in New York, hip hop clubs, but also dance music clubs, which were also hip hop clubs too, like Sound Factory, Club Exit, Club Carbon, Club Deep. But and you see all kinds of people in that scene, and there's people that were in the rainbow community in that scene, and honestly, they weren't on the same type of time where they're trying to cramp things like down, like for you to accept or else, and then you accept it one version of what they want, and then they switch it to like something more, and it's all like you giving in, like, to where now it's like there's a real push by the rainbow community to be involved with matters in terms with kids, whether that's reading to them, adopting them. Like, you know, I've changed my stance on adoption with that stuff too. I think that we should be extremely vigilant if men especially adopt kids. I'll put it like that. But should these people who dress up as women be allowed to read in front of kids? Absolutely not. I don't think that, like, the classic gay dude in New York that was going to Sound Factory and dressing like a woman would have pushed for that even 10 years ago. But the liberal left, which only uses the rainbow agenda as a cudgel to beat you down and accept something that you don't want to accept necessarily, they've used that community and they weaponized them to where now it's really hard to build with that community, like, without them getting political and hypersensitive. If along the way, like, I lose the affinity of the rainbow community, like, fucking I at this stage I view that as a benefit. Bounce. And I got, you know, it's no beef with them. I mean, like, but, you know, we read, like, these are other lines that need to be drawn, I guess. So if I'm on the other side of that line, I feel like I'm already used to that, being a Latin conservative in 2024. So I'm with it. I gotta get gas. Look at how cheap gas is in this gas station. And this is right outside the Holland Tunnel in New York. I'll show you guys. Sorry, I gotta put my phone down, my people. But so I'm with it. Like, if, like, I don't view none of these people as my enemies. How you doing, boss? Are you feeling up regular, Casper? Like, I don't view even the liberal left as my enemy. I view the component that runs the liberal left and uses them to weaponize their opposition. And I hope I have enough. Yeah. Now, that's the challenges of driving a pickup truck in the New York City tri-state area. But look how cheap the gas is. Well, anyways, it's $2.66 per gallon. I don't know what it is, but I'm not in the business, or I'm not in the mood to negotiate any longer with people that are siding with a mob, essentially. And there's nothing about MAGA that people point to outside of January 6th, which is one day, that constitutes operating like a mob. Like, most Southerners or MAGA, whatever have you, like, people that are often demonized in this country, they just if they don't want to fuck with you, I mean personally, like from what I've seen, they haven't overtly been giving me impressions as to I'm not welcome in the South. None of that shit. Like honestly, I feel better fucking navigating in the South than I do in New York City. Like fucking to be frank. But let me pay for. I gotta pay for my gas. My people. Give me 1 second. This fucking guy. Sorry, guys. Here you go, boss. Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks so much. I think these people are Ukrainian. Some nice graffiti pieces here. I think that guy, his name is Byrne or some shit. He's from Jersey. He's from New Jersey. Dominican dude. If just don't the graffiti stuff might not be interested to some of you guys, but that's just stuff I chatter off. But we're done with these people, and they have no room to ask for any sort of standard when it comes to Trump, even though I'll hold Trump to a standard. No, I'm not a fucking cultist. Like, I'll hold him to a standard. If Trump switches it up or doesn't follow through with what he says, like, you know, I'll hold him accountable. But anybody from the left has really no room to criticize Trump when at the very least they've been playing blind when it came to all the shit that the Bidens have gotten up to, are getting up to, how bad of a candidate Biden has been, how bad of a vice president Kamala Harris has been. They were blind to that stuff. And in fact, a lot of them are telling you that if you were critical of them, that you were a bad person because that's somehow helping Trump. Well, most people have voted for Trump in America. All across the world, it seems as if most of the populations all around the world wanted Trump to win. Besides the liberals, but liberal men especially are Trump's useless. Not the people that were. I'm talking about like the pasty liberal men that set the trend. These goofy Homer types that they want every man to be like, you know, jovial, not serious, collecting Funko Pops, staying behind a computer screen all day. I mean, I don't build with those men on any level. In fact, I'm concluding that a lot of the criticism that maybe I've received like online at times when you're trying to have regular discourse is from men that look just like that in spite of what their profile pictures put out. Now, if one of these people in a regular scenario were to disagree with the Sir Foul player in a violent fashion, similar to how they do it online, like basically like calling out the fact of like saying things that are one-off from being racist, Sir Foul Playsky would grab them up. I mean, like at the very minimum, they get shaken up. They get shaken. That's the 80s song. But because that shit doesn't happen in reality. But the internet has made a lot of weak men extremely brazen. And listen, there's another thing too, in terms of democracy and how things should operate. A democracy shouldn't work any longer. I mean, like democracy, like where everybody gets a voice. Listen, I'm at the point in my life. A lot of people shouldn't get voices. A lot of people are abject morons or are dealing with emotion too much. I mean, if you're arguing with your girlfriend and she's crying, I mean, that's the best time to like walk out and like not listen to her. Like let her collect herself. But I'm supposed to cave in for online people that seemingly cry or want you to cry, like for because they believe racism exists at every turn. I mean, and a lot of times these are white people that are trying to guilt whoever. I mean, like there were white men trying to guilt black dudes for not being accepting of the liberal agenda. I mean, like, or of the rainbow agenda, namely. That shit has to end. That shit has to end. You can't reason with these people any longer. And like the whole like democracy where every voice counts. Listen, I've operated before. I've operated in jobs before. Not every voice counts. In fact, at times when in a street setting, certain voices would be told to shut the fuck up just for opening their mouth, even if they had brilliant ideas. And might makes things right. Mind, strong men with, especially nowadays, strong men need to rule the day. Quite frankly, these times that we have lying ahead, just because Trump won, doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy sailing. I hope it is. I hope that it's smooth sailing and nothing bad will come of this. I hope that somebody doesn't get brazen, one of these leftist lunatics, and attempts a third life-taking event on Trump. You know, I hope things flow extremely smoothly, with the exception of Trump tearing things down and getting real justice done in this country. But other than that, though, I don't want like fucking like to see like New York City burn. I don't want to see like fucking the liberals like suffering financially just because they're liberals. Like no, like I want everybody in this country to do well. When America does well, the whole world does well. And I want like a new wave of opportunity to hit this country, like something that wasn't present under the Joe Biden administration. These were waning in the Joe Biden administration. The only thing that was rising under this last administration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was desperation. I do foresee that we're in for a lot of tough work as Americans in the months and years to come. Like, regardless of whether Trump cleans things out, I think that even if Trump does all the right things to get this country back in some real order, it would probably take at least 10 years. I think closer to 17 years. But it still needs to be done. It's still work that I look forward to because I have a son, I have a family, and I don't want them to go through any of this stuff. Like the struggle that Americans have to go through, especially in these last 4 years, unnecessarily, is nothing I want my kids to inherit. I don't want my kids to be told by their peers, well, all vaccines are checked by doctors. They're experts, and like you gotta accept it. Like, you know, that's the standard we have right now, where the science, so called, dictates everything. But we now know that the science could be bought. The science are a bunch of sellouts. The science are usually criminals. And I want my son to live in a world in which criminals could be called out, rather than a world like we've had these last 4 years and even longer than that, like with the censorship, where criminals are actually protected. Criminals are the science. Like, nah, we don't need any of that shit. As Americans and throughout the world. I mean, like, was the UK censored for speaking up against the vaccine? Sure they were. Was Australia censored? Absolutely. In fact, in many instances, Australia was forced. into a mandate, or they were forcing mandates in many instances. New Zealand, same shit. Canada, all these people have been neutered. Like the men of these great countries have been neutered um, because they've been shot down by emotional men. Or not emotional men. A lot of times emotional women. But and it's nothing against our ladies. We want to win our women back more than anything too. The American household is the building block for this country, and a good household has two parents within it. And we want to get back to that. We don't want anonymity with our women. I mean, if we let our women down, which at times men have, by way of how this country has been breeding us these last couple years, we got to make the inroads to win them back. I mean, like, who else are we gonna deal with? Men? Like, as men, like, do you only want to build with men? Because that sounds a little bit gay. But no, we want to build the household back. We want everybody to own homes. If you're out here getting it, we want you in this country. In most cases. If you came here illegally and like are up to illegal shit, you should be gone even before Trump gets in office. And there's a lot of dudes like that in New York. I was actually just talking to a Venezuelan cat when I was doing my business. So let me show you guys the cool jacket I bought. God damn it, you can't see this shit from here too. It's a polo jacket. But and he was Venezuelan. But the Venezuelans that I knew from back in the day, and there weren't that many in New York, honestly. But I do remember them speaking like, it's like a prettier version of Spanish, like how Colombians speak, so to say. Like when Colombians hear Puerto Ricans or Mexicans talk Spanish, like they always they consider it like guttural or like cringeworthy or like ghetto. But I met a Venezuelan cat today that was working as a delivery guy at the pizzeria that I went to go do my business, and he was shitting on the Venezuelans that are coming into this country. He was saying that a lot of them aren't from the South like me, but he was set tripping on that. But he was here for he said he's been here for many years, and that a lot of these new cats that have come in, that they basically came into America with the expectation that they were going to be given a bunch of shit, and now they're on a tear. Like now there's nothing else to give them, and they're wilding out. So I mean, people like that should go. That was the Sopranos pizzeria that I just passed again. And that should happen like day one. Like they should be rounded up immediately. Like how they do with the Salvadorian prisoners. Like I'm cool with that. I'm with it. Like be tough about it. Like these dudes got to go. However you do it. But the fact that these criminals in the Biden administration enabled this mass migration that we have into this country is one of the principal things outside of potential World War III that Trump has to deal with. And it should be handled immediately, Lord willing. But with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. I'm sorry that my first stream cut off. If you guys could help me out, like, share, subscribe. With that, I'm out. Peace, my people.